What's up, everybody? Benda42 here with the second edition of our B42 podcast. We've been slacking on the podcast, and we're here again with Cabalette.
Hello?
Thank you, Cabalette. Always have a lot to say. Appreciate it. Thanks for helping me out. But we got a
Oh,
really hot topic for you today, guys. We're going to be talking with Cabalette and myself. I'm going to be chiming in here and there. You know I can't resist. But we're talking about Twitch dating. Now, this is not going to become a dating show. Trust me, it's not. But you know what? We run a community and we know a lot of people get together on Twitch, and it gets me wondering, maybe Twitch is better than Tinder or all these dating apps. So, is it a good idea or a bad idea? So, Cabalette, I'll ask you because everyone wants your perspective. Nobody gives a shit about what I think. But do you think trying to find a relationship on Twitch is a good idea?
I wouldn't say it's a good idea because if you go channel to channel, like you're only looking for this, I think it's a little awkward and most of people probably are gonna end up banning you.
That's
But
true.
yeah.
And I think our main goal of if you're maybe looking, I'm not saying exactly what you said. If you're looking on Twitch to date somebody, I don't think that's ever, the right thing to do. I think it should become natural. And those are the best relationships because it comes naturally. But I think the draw is, I see all these people getting together on Twitch and they're in long distance relationships, and that's not really easy. But, you find something in common with somebody and you already have that as like a Twitch streamer. So I think it's kind of almost natural that people, get together, right, Cabalet?
Yeah, I agree with that. But I got lost.
Go on.
I don't even know. I wanted to bring up a point and I forgot.
Good job. See, that's why I'm the best podcast host because I always allow people to forget what they're talking about. That's okay. But
It's tough. I'm sorry.
it is tough. But let's go. Let's keep going right into it. If you're when we've had experience with this because we know people. A lot of my friends are in long distance relationships and they've actually gotten together in real relationships. So I'll ask you. If you were looking to maybe basically ask a streamer if they like you back or something, how would you approach this scenario? Because I think a lot of guys get stuck in this, and it's weird and it's awkward and you don't want to lose a friend over it, but at the same time you gotta maybe express your feelings to the streamer that you maybe want a relationship with, which it is weird because you don't want to come off. Us guys are always scared of coming off as creepy as well. At least I am, you know.
Well, the
So
thing is that if you are on the position where you're unsure, in my opinion, that means that maybe things are not established yet. Because if there was really something that was extremely clear, like you would feel it. So I don't think it's something that you gotta ask. Like, okay, maybe there is something going on. Maybe it's been for months, and maybe like if she hasn't bring it up yet, it's because I don't know. Maybe it's not the right moment. And I don't feel like going blunt and saying, hey, boyfriend and girlfriend, yes, no, yes, no.
yeah, you gotta finagle it. You
I
got.
don't think
Well,
I
it
don't
sounds
think
like
that's
I see. Even now, I feel creepy because now it's like, well, this video, people. I'm sure we're gonna get comments about. Oh, this is basically a
yeah.
video on how to turn your Twitch, your Twitch person into a girlfriend or a boyfriend. And when, like we said, you shouldn't be looking for that. But for the person, I've seen a lot of shit go down. The reason why I'm getting at this, I've seen a lot of people drop a lot of money in somebody's channel with the only purpose of trying basically to finagle it. And I personally don't think that's a good idea to finagle a relationship by dropping lots of money. And it's kind of a touchy subject. I don't want to offend anybody, but I've seen this happen, and people will deny that's why they did it. That's fine. I understand you want to support the person as well, but I think a lot of the time they drop a lot of money in the back of their minds. They're like, all right, well now this person has to hear me out. If I want a relationship with them, maybe this will take it to the next level if I drop hundreds of dollars. What do you think about that?
Totally. I did see something like that happening to a very close friend of mine where this guy was going into her channel. They were having a great friendship and she was with someone this entire time, but she's not really talking about a relationship on Twitch. And I really truly believe that there's a lot of streamers that don't say, because obviously like it's private life, I totally understand that there's a lot of streamers that are married or already in something and they're not talking about it because anyway, we're not on Twitch to talk about that. But when this guy did learn about the fact that she had somebody, he got extremely upset and he
That's a
accused her of
great, yeah,
manipulation.
that's actually
And
a great point because I've actually, of course, Twitter drama. I see that happen all the time where exactly instances you just said. So I actually know a bunch of people where that happens. And I think, we should definitely try to avoid that shit because it's just, I think it's silly. I think it's silly.
well, I really truly believe that really people need to get in their mind that, if by accident you join a channel, this is a girl, this is a boy, that you really feel like you appreciate them, there's something going on and whatnot. Like, how to say that? Like, you should not go in so deep to say at the end, if it's not working, oh my God, they manipulated me all this time. Like, maybe not. Maybe there was really a friendship and they were not, well,
Right.
again, like, it really depends
Some
on the
people just
situation.
obviously, people usually, I never did either, going into Twitch thinking, you're going to be in a relationship. A lot of people aren't even interested, or like you said, they're in a relationship already. But I mean, I think it's a slippery slope to say somebody manipulated somebody. That goes with any. I think this actually happens a lot too because I hear about it and I've experienced it. But whenever you make a donation to somebody, whatever your intention is, it should really. Are you okay? What was that? What just
I was
happened?
getting attacked. I don't know what to
Okay,
think.
so Toad is attacking you, whatever. But you should always make a donation because you want to support the streamer. And I feel like people, even when they just go to, and this is a different topic, and here I go on my tangent, but I'm gonna try to focus on the relationship thing. People really go, like we said, they have. I don't want to say evil intentions, but they have intentions that maybe the streamer is not going to reciprocate. And once they don't reciprocate, then they manipulated. I don't think that's the case in most instances, but unfortunately, feelings are hurt, all that stuff. So back to the question at hand, what would you do, coming from like a female perspective maybe, and to talk to all the other girls out there who maybe experience the girl streamers, guy streamers, whatever they are, you know, if you do like somebody, what would you do?
I would hang out in their channel all day, all night, all
Yeah.
the time,
And then
stalk on
and if they don't
them.
reciprocate, you say they manipulated you.
Actually, I believe that it really depends also if we're talking like, are we talking about a relationship streamer to streamer or streamer to viewer? Because like it can be
That
complicated
could
as
happen
well.
too.
Because if it's streamer to streamer, I mean, there is some stuff that are obvious. They're gonna maybe like I'm gonna try to collaborate with the person, say, hey, would like to do maybe a custom. Okay, I don't want all the guys that are watching this thinking that every time I offer the collaboration now, that was for something more than
Right.
you know. I don't know. It's really hard to say, but I mean, I feel like there is maybe a difference on the way I talk to the person that I appreciate. Okay, maybe I don't know. Like it's really really hard to say. The other day I got somebody telling me, "Oh, you use all the time hearts in our conversation. Are you in love with me?" And I was like, "Oh no, I really do that. Like everybody does. I feel like
Well,
so
that's the
that's why
thing
I'm
about like text
you
or
know
DMs, direct messaging and stuff, and text messaging. You don't know what people are thinking. So I would say to answer my own question, and like you said too, if you're hanging out in their channel and maybe you want something more, maybe they don't. You don't want to come off as creepy or wanting maybe something that isn't there, but maybe ask them to play a game with you off stream and see what they say, and that way you could actually talk with them via voice. I know that's scary sometimes, but maybe that's a good idea and see, and see what's going on. But also,
Mhm.
I don't know where I'm going with that, but I think every situation is different, so you got to make sure, you're not being a creep.
Yeah, just be careful because you know what? That just made me think maybe you're gonna ask them to play with you. But be careful that these people are not like recording you either.
That's well,
Like
yeah, you never. Well, that's
you,
I
you
think you
know,
should
it's
know the
really
person. You should. Sorry to speak over you. You should know the
no, go for
person.
it.
I think. I think if you like somebody on Twitch or wherever you're streaming, if you like them, I assume they wouldn't try to record you and then like embarrass
Well,
you in
the
front
thing
of
is that
everybody.
like I'm really thinking of also like the excessive behavior I see around. So I'm thinking when you say that, I'm so scared somebody that has been hanging out for a week in a channel, for example, is gonna jump on the thing and say, "Hey, let's go." Like I really, really want to make that extremely obvious because I'm sure that there are some people, there's some people that maybe you meet and you're like going fast. Like you really need to take your time with that kind of stuff. I mean, it's just like reality when you plus it's art battlefield, I gotta say, because it's like, some of them are like, you're on their work. It's like you are being intrusive on their channel that is their work. You know that what I mean? Or is it
Yeah,
getting like
absolutely. And it doesn't
unreal?
matter. It doesn't matter how much we say, whatever. They're still gonna say. Everybody's still. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people are still gonna say. Bed 42 at Capital. They say Twitch is a dating service. They're fucking stupid. They're so
Right.
dumb. You should fucking. You
Right.
should
I'm
use
not
Twitch.
saying
Yeah.
that. Right
You should use Twitch to find your next wife. They're fucking saying that. I never said that. I'm just saying from
away.
our experiences, and I can speak for Capital as well. We run our community. We know a lot of people jump into relationships with each other. A lot of them are successes, a lot of them are not. And I see a lot of guys and girls attempting this because they develop feelings for another streamer and they either fail or whatever. And, I thought it would be a good topic for a podcast. So we're not advocating, I'm not advocating going into Twitch saying, okay, I'm going to find my wife here. If you go in with that mindset with anything, it's gonna blow up because then you're so desperate for a relationship. You're so desperate for something that you're gonna basically take what you can get, and it's not gonna end well for you. I think you need to really have something in common and not be so desperate for a relationship that you'll do anything. It should just come naturally.
Actually, to reply to one of your questions you asked me earlier, earlier you said, yeah, how do you, break the ice pretty much to know if our relationship are more than friendship and whatnot? Maybe a good idea would be to consider seeing each other and asking if they want to see each other in reality. That's a good icebreaker, I guess. If you're on the friendship, you don't know if it's going any further than that. Asking them, hey, would you consider,
There you
meeting
go,
each
real
other?
life meetup. I like to lay on the, you get them in a voice chat and you say, "Did it hurt?" And then they say, "Did what hurt?" And then you say, "When you fell from heaven." That usually gets them right away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's great.
I know. Works all the time. Works like a charm.
Oh
But
yeah.
that's
Oh,
that's that's definitely a good idea. Try to meet them in person. But even so, some people are just genuine and they do want to meet you on in person anyway. So this is the person that would argue this. You want a relationship, you're not sure if the other person does. And this can go for real life as well. You ask to meet them in person, and they do want to meet you in person because they're your friend. But they don't know that you're in the back of your mind, you're like, I love you. I secretly love this person, and I want to build a relationship on this. So they just might say yes because they want to meet you, but they don't necessarily want a relationship. So what do you say to that?
can you repeat the question?
It's pretty much the question is when a guy gets friend zoned. And you suggested, meet them in person. That, if
Okay.
you have feelings for somebody, you meet them in person. But what if the person that you're trying to be in a relationship with, they still want to meet with you and they say yes, but maybe they still don't want, they're still not maybe into a relationship, or, maybe they're
Okay, so
married. I don't understand what you're not getting
if
about this
you're
question.
married, like get your fucking face out of the gutter, as you guys say. Like
Yeah.
it's
Well, some people
no.
are married. Well, some people it's their person. That's another thing too. I hate to
Yeah,
keep
that's
jumping.
your personal
Yeah,
stuff,
some
but
people
I don't
don't
know.
like to discuss, streaming is more of a profession for them, so they don't like to flat out say that they're married or that whatever with their personal life. They don't like to say it. So, what would you say for maybe the guy or the girl that wants to meet up with their crush and that person's just going to say, "Yeah, I'll meet up with you. Let's meet up and have a great time," but really, they're married or they're not
That
interested in a
they make it
relationship.
clear that it's not gonna be anything else than just a friendly meeting. Is that what you're saying by that?
Well,
Like the friends on you
okay,
before the
well,
date?
yeah, I guess. I don't really know what I was getting at, but
Oh.
well, I
So
think what
are
I'm getting at is some people are going to say, "Let's meet up," even if they're not interested in a romantic relationship.
Yeah, yeah, totally. And if it's the case, well, you know what? You make a good friend. I don't know.
I agree.
Like,
Well, I agree too. You make a good friend.
and don't start to cry if they show up with their wife or their husband, like.
Yeah, they manipulated me. Sometimes, you know what? I'm not saying that doesn't happen either. I think it. Let's be real. I think sometimes maybe that does happen, where somebody, a guy or a girl, will lead somebody else on, knowing there's no future there, just to. I think that happens all the time. Let's be real. I think it does too. I think that there's both ends. I think it doesn't happen when people claim that it does, and I think it
Mhm,
definitely people lead them on purpose. On purpose.
mhm.
Sometimes you lead somebody on, and you don't know you're doing it, okay, you're innocent. But I think people are you making a face like maybe I'm not right? Do you
No,
agree
no,
with
no,
that?
no. I'm totally agree. I'm saying, yeah, very deeply.
Okay. Yes, very deeply. We do the hard hitting topics here, and I'll be honest. I think there's a lot of guys and girls that do manipulate on purpose, but also I think a lot of the time it's blown out of proportion, and the person's not looking for a relationship and doesn't know that you're in love, pretty much. But that's
Mm.
just be careful. Just be careful. Don't.
It can be so easy to confuse somebody that's really genuinely appreciates content and try to support you, and just somebody that's trying to show that he
Well,
wants
there's
to
both. Yeah.
show emotions or something. Like, I mean, if you want to show emotion and you use bits for it, like, it's kind of hard to say,
Well, there's
oh, yeah, you
both.
got 4,000 bits. Holy shit, you really love me.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's both ends of the spectrum because, if somebody is doing that, they're dropping a lot of money because they're thinking maybe there'll be a future relationship there. And that hurts the person that's getting the bits too, because then the only reason you were given bits is because you wanted a relation, like a romantic relationship. That
Because
hurts,
you were expecting something.
right?
Yeah.
So that
If you're
hurts as
expecting
well.
anything from giving,
Well,
it's
that hurts
not.
me all the time. It doesn't have to do anything with dating, but I learned maybe down the road that, a person stopped by or a person only dropped any
Mhm.
sort of bits because they were expecting a raid or whatever the hell they're thinking. And that hurts me a little bit too. So I could definitely understand that happens
Okay.
all the time too.
It's totally not a good idea for sure. Like, when you give the money in a channel anyway, that's genuine freaking feelings, then even if you don't obtain what you give, you do that for support for sure. Like, to give support, not to freaking expect anything. But
I
anyway, I'm
agree
going like
100%.
far
Yeah,
off.
yeah, no, but I agree 100% with that. So on to the next question I had. We run a community and we've been around Twitch for a while, but do you have any like not scary stories? I say horror stories. And you asked me before, you didn't even know what the hell that meant. But do you have any like bad stories about maybe I don't know, somebody that reached out to you and was maybe creepy? Maybe not you personally, because that's the thing. If you do that, everyone's gonna say she's talking about me when that's
Yeah,
not true.
even if I talk about
Yeah,
myself, I'm gonna say I'm talking about a friend
but
anyway, so you guys will
right,
never know if I
exactly.
talk
But do
about.
you have any stories from like the community where maybe I don't know, maybe relationships did work out on Twitch, or maybe they didn't, or and again, be careful here because everyone's gonna think that we're talking about them. I guarantee we were not, but that's just
Oh,
what's
I
gonna
know.
happen anyway. So you might as well just go ahead.
Yeah, no. Something that I've seen quite a few times, so I cannot even target anybody because I've seen it happen so many, many, many times, is that I've seen some of my friends starting to date each other and whatnot, or, a friend of mine with one of their viewers or another streamer or whatever, really a relationship coming from two Twitch users, I'm gonna say, because it could be Twitch viewer, streamer viewer, or streamer, okay. And I noticed that it's extremely hard to maintain a relationship without getting on the jealousy wheel, because I, like, every time there was their partner hanging out in their channel when they were streaming, and of course people who were supporting the duo were nice in chat, obviously, to support, saying, wow, you're so good at video games, or wow, you are very pretty, handsome today, whatever they are saying. And I've seen so many drama happening because of that, because I totally understand that it can be extremely hard. Like, I never been in the street and having girls saying, oh, by the way, you're super pretty, to when I was walking with somebody, I was maybe dating or whatever. So I
Well,
can understand
that's
that thing on the internet, that's extremely hard. And that's a lot of feelings too. Like, you don't want to see that to happen, but at the meantime, this is Twitch. That's how it was before you were there too.
Well, that's a great point, and I'm shaking my head a lot because I agree. I think there's with Twitch in general, there's this could spin off into anything. But let's say that scenario that you just said, there's two people that are together on Twitch and they're both streamers, and then somebody comes in. Let's say Cavalette, me and you are dating, and I'm in your channel, right? And I'm moderating your channel, and everybody's having a good time. And then a guy comes in and says, someone maybe we don't necessarily know, right? And they say how beautiful you are. What would be your reaction to that? And what would be my reaction? I'll tell you what my reaction would be. I'll find you and I will fucking kill you.
That was
I'm kidding. But well, like how that's a great question. I think there's a lot of maybe people maybe that aren't in a relationship, that are in a relationship that want to know, how do you react to that? Because you don't want to be rude, But you also maybe don't want, if your significant
Well,
other
if
sitting
I'm
right
with
there too,
someone, okay,
maybe.
I am dating someone, I know it. Like, it's not something I'm gonna expose right away either. I'm not gonna say, yeah, oh, excuse me, but I'm dating this guy, chick, whoever, you can't give me compliments. No, I'm just gonna say, well, thank you. Like, I've been working in a restaurant for quite a long time when I was young. I started working, I was like 14 until I was 21. I was working in a restaurant. And every time I had somebody give me a compliment, and I never dated any of my clients. So
Well,
that's
you get
clear.
so many compliments, I'm sure.
What do you want me else to say other than thank you? I'm not going to say no, thank you,
Yeah, I know. You take
etc.
that back.
Like, yeah, you take that
Yeah, you
back.
take that compliment back, motherfucker.
Like,
But
what
and it
else
could
do
be
you
an awkward situation, and
want?
I actually it happens all the time. But I agree with you. I just take the compliment and move on. Not too many people call me handsome nowadays.
Unless it's getting excessive. If it's
Right.
getting excessive and everything, like the guy that say you are sex in my channel and whatnot,
Yeah,
like
strange. Strange. Most of the time it is just a compliment too, but some people are again creepy. So, stuff like
mm.
that happens all the time. Stop being creepy, guys.
Yeah, even if it's without being creepy, if somebody's being a little too pushy, maybe I will send them a DM and say, like I see that, you're really trying, but I got somebody, like, you know,
In
that
DMs,
that's
that's a good
really
idea. In
there.
DMs or
And
however you
I
really want to
said it
handle
here
it.
because I don't want to expose them like in public. I feel like it would be so
The thing
well,
about
okay,
me,
you don't
and
know this what I
I'm
mean to.
very, as you know about me, I'm very private person. So I think my streaming life, I'm there to play video games with. I'm a gamer, so I play video games with my friends, make friends. You don't need to know anything else really about me. I feel you don't need to know who I'm dating, what I'm doing. In my opinion, I don't, and that's just me. That's just for me. And I'm not saying, you could do whatever you want with your channel. You could be open with it. But for me, I'm very private. I don't want you guys knowing my business too much because it's not relevant. It's not relevant to what I'm doing. I understand, people that become my friend. Okay, now maybe I'll let you in and we could talk about, my prior experiences. No problem. Like kind of like what we're doing now. But I put up a wall and you're kind of shaking your head like, yeah, he's
No.
fucking.
That just reminded me of of one day you were in a podcast and hey, Benda, are you dating someone?
People
And I
ask me that
remember
all the time,
your
and I just
reaction
say,
was,
none of your fucking business.
"Oh, girl, that was hilarious."
But I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a mental thing with me. I'm trying to open up more. And I know people want to hear, some people really do care. They do want to hear stuff about this. Not that I'm trying to hide anything. It's just, I don't know. I'm private. My stream life is one thing. I'm not trying to hide anything from you, but at the same time, you don't need to know my whole family. Cat, but you're making a bad face. Like, what the
Yeah, because I disagree. You see, like here you get the kind of streamer that keep the stuff personally. Me, like I wouldn't expose it either, but I think I would be a little bit more open about it, because like even I don't know. I think I would be a little bit more open about it in my channel, and I am actually, I'm not making things very, very sneaky either.
Well, yeah, I don't go out of my way, really. Well, yeah, I'll go out of
Mm.
my way. I would say I don't do that, but I don't know. That's just me. Again, and that's why I say with all my opinion pieces, it's just me. It's my choice. I don't know. I just feel like I want to play video games, have a good time. That's it.
And that's why you should communicate with your partner, because if you are really right now dating somebody that's also a streamer, or you are a viewer that are a streamer, you should communicate with your partner and maybe establish the point right away, saying, okay, are we declaring our relationship? Is that obvious that I'm your chat mod and I'm also your whatever, and should I let stuff slide in chat? I really think you should establish the basis, because like it can really come, like you don't know when the hard situation are gonna come, so you better be prepared.
Well, the thing is
One,
too,
how
and people are probably going to say this because they always got shit. They always got some shit to say. They were going to say, "Oh well, you're only hiding it because you don't want people to know." Well, you know what? If you hang out with me, if we're talking about the relationship thing, if you're in my channel for a good amount of time and you hang out, like the answer. But if the first thing you're coming in and doing asking if I'm single, I'm like, mind your own business. And if you hang out for a few hours, you'll know one way or the other. But I think that's you wouldn't ask, and that's one thing. It's gonna get blown out of proportion. But if you're my friend, you ask me that, okay. But if you're just coming in and that's the first thing you ask, you wouldn't ask that in real. How would that be perceived in real life? If someone walked up to you, Cavalette, and said, "Are you single?" I'd be like, "Why? Whoa, simmer!" Like that's the first thing. I don't know. I think that would be like a creepy thing. But
I totally agree.
so that's why I say it's none of your fucking business. To strangers.
Just to spin off a little bit the subject, that's with anything. If you just join the channel and the first thing you're gonna ask is really the thing that is running in your mind, like, oh, how old are you? I was really wondering. I just came to know how old are you. Like, no, don't do that. Don't
Yeah,
be scam.
strange.
Or can I play with you or whatever,
Well, yeah, it's just people are strange on the internet sometimes. It
That
happens.
doesn't shock me as much as how old are you or whatever. Even though when you drop a can I play with you, I think you should say hello first, minimum.
Oh, absolutely. If it's a complete stranger, I'm saying it's their
Maybe
first
I'm-
time in the chat, and your first thing is, "Can I play with you?" You know, I sound like a spoiled brat, but it's like, "Hello, how are you?" You know, like, can you? Or you want to carry? That's on a different subject, but yeah, that's on a different subject. So wrapping up on this subject, so we're talking about dating on Twitch because it happens all the time. Again, people are going to say about this video, Bender42 said Twitch is a dating service and you should always look for your future husband or wife on Twitch. What a scumbag. It's not what we're-
Yes.
Yeah. Bender42 is such a fucking asshole. Anyway, so finally, we go back to the first question we had. If you like somebody on Twitch, you want to date somebody, do you think it's a good idea or a bad idea? And that was kind of like our original question. Like going over everything we said today, all the creepy shit, all the weird shit, and all the bad scenarios. Do you think it's a good idea to try to pursue, or what do you think? What do you think?
Overall, I think it's a good idea. Like if you meet somebody again, like we're talking about love, nothing can be planned, and you should not. Again, that's the main point. You should not go with that idea in mind only of dating somebody. But if something happened, that happened, and give it a chance. So I'm mostly for it because you don't know when things are gonna and how things are gonna happen. Give it a try, give it a shot. Otherwise, you will never know.
Just to interrupt you, I think so too. Just interrupted you. Say I agree. You want to know why I agree? Because I know. A lot of maybe relationships haven't worked out on Twitch, but I know a lot of people that have. And if they didn't meet each other through Twitch, they wouldn't. I mean, their lives are made. They're so happy, and it makes me so happy they found each other. So why not take the risk? But remember everything we said today. Don't be creepy about it. Try to do it right, and don't be desperate for a relationship either. Okay? And I think that's a good lesson. You got anything else to add here, Cabalette?
Yeah, sure. My DMs are open if you guys have any questions, especially the girls, because
Are you single?
know you guys
you single?
Nice. I'm single. Hey.
But there you go.
So, other than the single stuff, no. But I know I've been receiving a lot.
My DMs are open.
So,
sorry.
If you girls have questions and everything.
Well, if you guys ever need any relationship advice, I'm the master, right?
Oh yeah.
That's what I always say, and I laugh my ass off. I know what I'm talking about here, guys. I know what I'm talking about. So my DMs are always open to everybody.
He knows it all.
Yeah, right. Anyway, guys, on behalf of, Team B, there's a Team B42 podcast. On behalf of Team B42, Bender42, and Cabalette, thank you for watching the podcast. Bye.